गिरधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यानंद विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभीष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी बिंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। जय श्री कार्तिक व्रत नियम सेवा की जय। उर्ज व्रत की जय। उर्जेश्वरी रसेश्वरी श्री विश्वभानु नंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। जय श्री काशीश्वर पंडित की जय। तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। श्री भूगर्भ गोस्वामी की जय। तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जय। जय श्री हेमंत की रास यात्रा की जय। श्री राधा गोविंद हेमंत की रास यात्रा की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्वताय नमो नमः। भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम। नीताय मुकेश जी, Pramila Didi, Raseshwari Mataji, Amit Dandekar, and whoever else is watching. I'm guessing Indira Mataji is there, and all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jaya Devi Prabhu, um, Krishna Rose, Ananda Pradayani, Vrinda Didi, and everybody else. Hari Bol. So today is the last day. Do you say today's the last day of Kartik? I think so. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, today is the final day of Kārtika-vrata, and so, but today's also the day we break our vrat, so I don't really get how that works. But yeah, Kartik can either end on Ekadashi, Dwadashi, or Purnima. So today is the final day here. So today we will read, and also it is the disappearance day of Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita and Śrī Bhūgarbha Gosvāmī. So we will read some Harikatha. I think we might have read it on the first day of Kartik. I can't remember, but this Harikatha by Śrīla Gurudev from the book. It used to be called Prabandhavali. Now it's called A Treasury of Holy Days. So we'll read that, and then we'll also read from Srila Bhakti Tirtha Goswami Mahārāja's book about those two personalities. And then with whatever time we have left over, we can read maybe some pastimes with Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Goswami Mahārāja. Let's see though, I'm starting late today again. We'll see how much time we have. Chapter 11. What should we do first? I think let's read this first. I'm not going to read this full article though, because it's too long. I mean, this full chapter. The final day of Kartik. This is Śrīla Gurudev's Harikatha in the early 90s. Today is the day on which we complete our vow of Niyam Seva for the month of Kartik. In the observance of this Niyam Seva, by the mercy of Bhagavan, and especially by the mercy of Guru, for the last month we have performed hearing and chanting of Harikatha and taken darshan of all the primary places of Shri Radha Krishna's pastimes and Vraj. Kartik is the king of months, and its queen is Srimati Radhika. This month is for the pleasure of Radhika. And whatever we have done for her pleasure during the last month, we should continue doing it for the remainder of the year. If in our hearts we consider ourselves very low and genuinely feel with great despair that I have not yet attained her mercy, then we have really been granted the fruit of following this vow. So what's the fruit of following this vow? This desperation that I have not yet attained her mercy. And then we continue performing what we've been doing throughout Kartik. We continue it throughout the whole year. Every day during this month, we have sung the glories of Shri Radha Damodar in the form of Damodarashtak, and tried to practice sadhan, which will awaken the desire in our hearts to always serve Srimati Radhika. This is the final aim of all sadhans. In the 11th and final verse of Śrī Upadeshamrita, Śrīla Rupa Goswami describes the supreme spiritual nature and how that desire can be fulfilled. Krishna syochai pranaya vasati preyasi bhyo piradha kundam chasya munibhiravitas tadrigeva vyadhayi yat preshtair apalamasulabham king punar bhakti bhajam tat premedam sakridapi sara snatura vishkaroti. Śrī Upadeshamrita, verse 11. There are so many who are dear to Krishna, but amongst them, Radhika is the most dear to him. And in the same way that Radhika is dear to Krishna, Radha Kund is also dear to him. There is no special difference between Radha Kund and Radhika herself. Even though generally it is said that between Krishna and Krishna Nam there is no difference, there is really a small difference in mercifulness. The holy name is more merciful. Krishna has invested all of his Shakti in his Nam, and it is accessible to everyone at all times. So, yeah, there's no difference between Nam and Nami, but Nam is more accessible. Hari Bol Mahi Bharat Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. By the mercy of the Nam, we will attain the direct company of Krishna. So therefore, the holy name is more merciful. Similarly, it is correct to say that Radhika, and Radha Kund are one and the same. But because this transcendental Kund appears in a physical form, it is more accessible to the conditioned jivas of this world. Its water is accessible to all. Oops, one second. Its water is accessible to all at all times and in all ways for our bathing, for our achman, and for offering our prayers. Therefore, the glories of Radha Kund are even greater than those of Radhika herself. And the Munis have described it like this in the Padma Purana. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnos Tasya Kundam Priya Tatha Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnur Atyanta Vallabha. Amongst all the gopis, Radhika is the best and most beloved of Krishna. Therefore, for someone to attain her mercy is very rare. Even for the great souls such as Narad, it is rare. But if someone really desires that prem, that Radha Dasya, which even Narad is praying for while performing austerities at Narad Kund, then if they bathe just once with great devotion in the Radha Kund, the Kund will bestow everything upon them. Is it not more difficult than that? After all, anyone can go there and bathe, but it must be ascertained whether or not we are really bathing with feelings of bhakti. If we bathe with great humility and faith, then those whose hearts are impure will become a little pure. Those whose hearts are already a little pure will become a little more pure. And those whose hearts are completely pure will attain the direct service of Śrī Radha and Krishna. The highest ideal was shown by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, how he left everything, took exclusive shelter of Radha Kund, and said, "We desire nothing besides the mercy of Radhika. Tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam, nayamam charanantikam." That's Vilap Kusmanjali, verse 96. O Shrimati, I am yours only. He wanted Radhika to hear him say this twice. I cannot live without you, so please bring me to the shelter of your feet, and appoint me to your service. If we bathe at Radha Kund, our hearts will become purified, and an attraction for Radha Dasya will arise within us. And if we have similar feelings of pleading as Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswamis had, then we will certainly attain Radhika's direct mercy. And this is especially true if it is done within this month of Kartik. Our goddess is Shrimati. Besides her, we have no other. In another place, Raghunath Das Goswami prays, He Shri Sarovara Sadatvai Samadisha Prishtena Sardamiha Khelati Kamarangai Tvam Chet Priyat Priyang Ativa Tayoriti Mam Ha Darshayadya Kripaya Mama Jivitang Tam. I think we have this verse in the songbook now, and in the songbook. Just curious. What is it? Hey Shri Sarovar. Let's see. Hey Shri Sarovar. Yep, there it is. The translation we made for it is, O beautiful pond, my Swamini always enjoys amorous, sportive pastimes with her beloved along your banks. You are more merciful and precious to them than life itself. Alas, please mercifully grant me darshan of her, who is my very life and soul. I'm just reading this translation as well. O Shri Radha Kund, in the Kunj on your bank, immersed in great prem, our worshipful goddess Srimati Radhika sports with her beloved Shri Shyama Sundar. Since you are the dearest of all to them, please mercifully grant me darshan of my mistress, who is my very life and soul. In one place, Rati Manjari, meaning Raghunath Das Goswami, has referred to Krishna as Nath, meaning husband. But why is she addressing him as Nath? You are the Nath of our worshipful goddess, Vrindavaneshwari, and because we are related to her, we are referring to you as Nath also. This is verse 100 of Vilak Kusmanjali. He Nata Gokula Sudakara Suprasanna Vaktraravinda Madhura Smita He Kripardra Yatra Tvaya Viharate Pranaya Priyarat Tatraiva Mama Pinaya Priya Sevanaya. O Nath, O nectar moon of Gokul, whose cheerful lotus face smiles sweetly. O crown jewel of the merciful, if you are pleased with me, then give me this boon only. For the purpose of rendering service to my mistress, please take me to where you are lovingly sporting with your beloved. Here, taking the position of a sadhak, he is praying to Krishna in order to attain Radhika's service. All of the Goswamis have prayed in a similar way, as did the son of Vallabhacharya, Vittalacharya. Shama Sundara Shikhanda Shekhara Smera Samurali Manohara Radhika Rasika Mam Kripa Nide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Prananata Vrishabhanu Nandini Shri Mukha Pyarasalola Shatpara Radhika Padatale Krita Stitim Tvam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhara. O Shamsundar, O you whose head is adorned with a peacock feather, sorry. Your face always holds a playful smile. Your flute playing is enchanting, and you are very expert in enjoying ras with Srimati Radhika. Because you are an ocean of mercy, please make me a kinkari, a maidservant, at the feet of your beloved. You are the lord of the life of the daughter of Rishabhanu, and are always greedy to taste the nectar of her lips. O Rasika Shekhar, foremost of those who are Rasik, I don't desire anything other than to always reside at the feet of Srimati Radhika. Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and all of our acharyas have prayed to Krishna for this very thing, and have also prayed directly to Radhika herself for it. In one place, Raghunath Das Goswami says, Anarada Radha Padambojareno Anashrita Vrinda Tavim Tat Patankam Asambhashya Tadbhava Gambhira Chitan Kutha Shama Sindho Rasasya Vagaha. If anyone desires to reside, I think this is the first verse of the Swaprakash Stotram, if I remember correctly. I don't know. For some reason, there's no reference given. If anyone desires to reside in Vrindavan, achieve the mercy of Radhika, and be appointed to her service, they must worship those places where the dust of her feet is lying, such as the many beautiful kunjas of Vrindavan, where she has enjoyed pastimes with Sri Krishna. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written in his Gitabali, this is a Bengali translation of like a poetic rendering of this verse. Radhika, the first two verses is it. Radhika charana parma sakala sheyera sarma jatane je nahi arathilo. Radha Padankita da Vrindavan Jarna Taha Jenaya Shraya Korina. Aspirants for Radha Dasya must take shelter of those places where Radhika has placed her lotus feet, such as Radhakund, Shyamakund, Javat, Prem Sarovar, Sanket, Nandagram, and Varshana. Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis would constantly wander around Vrindavan, and by staying in each place for only one day and night, the remembrance of different pastimes would always be arising within them. Radhika bhava gambhir chitta jeva mahadev gana sanga na koilo jivane kemune she shamananda rasa sindhu snanananda Lobidhe bhujaho ekamane. Those who have not taken shelter of the dust of Radhika's feet by worshipping these places, and who have not attained the association of a rasik Mahabhagavat Vaishnav who is always immersed in the grave and deep bhav of Radhika, will never become submerged in the ocean of ras. Therefore, we should pray to the Dham, to Giriraj Govardhan and the Yamuna, to the dust of Radhika's feet, to Vishaka and Lalita, to our Guru Parampara, to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and to our own Gurudev, that we will never desire anything besides Radha Dasya. Radhika Ujvala Rasera Acharya Radha Madhava Shuddha Prema Vicharja Je dhorilo Radha para parama jatane she pailo Krishna pada amulya ratane Radha pada vina kabho Krishna nahi mile Radhar dasir Krishna sarva vede bole O Radhar dasir Krishna sarva vede bole. Those who very carefully worship Radhika's feet will meet Krishna in a snap of a finger. But what does it mean to meet Krishna? Where is Krishna complete? Without Radhika, is he complete? Therefore, only where there is the Yugal Kishore, the youthful couple, is Krishna complete. Only by the mercy of Radhika will one be able to have their darshan and attain the qualification to serve them. Without the mercy of Radhika, one will not be able to meet Krishna. This is correct. But what to do? What do the Vedic scriptures declare? What to speak of just Radha? Her dasis can also be very instrumental in helping one to meet Krishna. They will say, "Come, you can meet him here. Just stay here. You won't meet him anywhere else." Sometimes Krishna says to these dasis, "I belong solely to you. As you say, I will do." So what to speak of Krishna's feelings towards Radhika herself, who is the Acharya of Ujjvala Ras. And in this verse, it says, the last line says, Radhar Dasir Krishna Sarva Vede Bole. All the Vedas declare that Krishna is the property of Radha's dasis. Radhar Dasir Krishna. Radha's dasis Krishna. Yeah. Sometimes when they play games like chess and tic-tac-toe together, Radhika says, "You don't know how to play, therefore I will not play anymore." Sometimes Krishna applies her tilak, and she says, "You haven't applied it correctly, it should be like this." In this way she instructs him, and is therefore the Acharya of Ujjvala Ras. Srimati is the dearest to Krishna, and without her mercy, one will not be able to successfully meet Krishna. With this objective, we worship her during this month of Kartik, aspiring solely for Radha Dasya. Raghunath Das Goswami left his home and family at a very young age, and with great eagerness walked the entire distance from Krishnapur in Bengal to Jagannath Puri, to be with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His parents had made so many plans to prevent him from going, but they could not stop him. His mother said, "He is married to a girl of heavenly beauty, and he has so much property and wealth. If these things don't keep him here, then he should be chained and watched over by a guard. Then he will never escape." But having more insight, his father said, "If being married to a girl of heavenly beauty cannot bind him, having opulence equal to that of Indra cannot bind him, our affection cannot bind him, and if he has really adopted the temperament of Mahaprabhu's followers, then how can mere chains bind him?" Upon Raghunath Das's arrival in Puri, Mahaprabhu placed him under the care of Swarup Damodar. Then, after witnessing more and more of Mahaprabhu's Leela, his tendency towards Radha Dasya became strengthened. Of course, we are looking at him from the angle of vision that he was a sadhak, although he was an eternally perfected soul. Everything he did was exemplary for aspiring sadhaks. When, after some time, Mahaprabhu returned to Goloka, Raghunath Das gave up eating. Then, in separation from Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar also left this world. Then Raghunath Das gave up even drinking water and sleeping, and soon he took shelter of Gadadhar Pandit. Day and night, Gadadhar Pandit was lamenting in separation from Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das would come and render service to him, and besides Gadadhar Pandit, there is no other shelter for him. But the fire of separation was burning very intensely in Gadadhar Pandit's heart, and after a few days, calling out, "Gauranga, Gauranga," Gadadhar Pandit also entered into the eternal Leela. Then Raghunath Das felt, "Whatever strength I had has been taken away. Now I will certainly die. I will give up my life by either jumping in the ocean or from a mountaintop." But then he thought again, "If I am to give up this life, why should I do it by jumping in the ocean? Instead, I will go to Vrindavan, where I will drown in the Yamuna. Or, if I will give up my life by jumping from a mountain, it will not be from Chatak mountain in Puri. Instead, I will go to Govardhan and jump from there." When someone feels such intense separation from Bhagavan, then it can be said that they are really performing bhajan. Whereas we, on the contrary, are mostly just eating, sleeping, joking, and laughing all day long. We should make an effort to understand what the nature of these devotees' feelings of divine separation were. When a devotee is always thinking, "How will I meet Bhagavan?" with great eagerness, then it can be said that they are engaged in real sadhana. And we cannot even express the degree of Raghunath Das Goswami's Turnada Pisunichena, his feelings of his own lowliness. His heart burning in divine separation, he left Puri and walked all the way to Vrindavan, where he fell at the feet of Rupa and Sanatan. Offering his very self to them, he said, "Now I cannot possibly be saved." But they showed him such affection that he was convinced not to give up his life. He began living with them, and just when the fire of his separation had cooled somewhat, Sanatan Goswami left this world. Again, he was left feeling helpless. It seems that whoever he tried to take shelter of would leave him, and he was feeling more separation than ever. Staying at Radha Kund, day and night, he was lamenting in separation. And then he heard that Rupa Goswami had also left this world. Now what remained for him? He wrote, Shunyayate mahaghoshtam girindro jagarayate vyagratundayate kundam jivatu rahitasya me." It's verse 11 of the Prathanashray Chaturtashak. Now that I no longer have the sustainer of my life, the land of Braj has become empty and desolate. Govardhan Hill appears like a great python, and Radhakund seems like the gaping mouth of a ferocious tigress. Just see what his condition of divine separation was like. At the time he composed Sri Vilap Kusmanjali, At that time, he composed Śrī Bhūgarbha, and this verse appears near the end. Asha bhararamrita sindhu mayai katanche kalo mayati gamita kila sampratam hi tang chet kripam mai vidhasya sinaiva kimme pranarvajena chavarorupakarinaphi. It's Vilap Kusmandali 102. I had so many hopes, but one by one they have all vanished, and now everything is lost. All of the columns I was grasping onto seem to have disappeared one by one, and now I am in a helpless condition. But if Sri Radha and Krishna would sprinkle just one drop of the ocean of their prema on me, then all of my hopes would be completely fulfilled. What to speak of bathing in that fathomless ocean of nectar, if just one drop of it falls on my head or any of my limbs, then I will have attained that sustainer of my life, which I have been longing for ever since I left my home and family. But then Mahaprabhu left me, Swarup Damodar left me, and when Gadadhar Pandit also left me, I came here to Vrindavan where I took shelter of Sanatana Goswami. But then he has also left me, and now I am helpless. What was the nature of Sanatana Goswami? This is Vilap Kusmandali verse 6. Vairaga yug bhakti rasam prayatnair apayayan mam anabhipsumandham kripam budirya paradukha dukhi sanatanastang prabhumashrayami. I have never seen such an ocean of causeless mercy as Sanatana Goswami. He showered all of his mercy upon me, and even though I had no desire to drink it, he made me drink the nectar of bhakti that Mahaprabhu came to give, which inspires one to fully renounce this world and which bestows spontaneous affection for the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. That inconceivably merciful Sanatana Goswami, who gave me a drink of the ocean of bhakti ras, has left me. And now Rupa Goswami has also left me. Who can describe how merciful he was? He would always look after me with great care. Because I have taken Kshetra Sannyas here at Radhakund, he would eagerly come here to give me his darshan. He was so merciful to me that he would show me his writings on the pretext of having me proofread them. And while reading them, I would shed so many tears that the pages would become wet. But still I couldn't stop reading. Whatever I didn't receive directly from Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar, he bestowed upon me completely. Until now, I've somehow sustained my life. But now that Rupa Goswami has left me, I can no longer remain in this world. This is my final condition. O Srimati, now all I have left is you and your kund. Otherwise, I'm completely helpless. For me to hold on to my life for even one more moment is very, very difficult. Somehow or other, I've been sustaining it, but I can sustain it no longer. O Srimati, if you are not merciful to me at this very moment, I will give up this body at once. Why should I remain in Vrindavan? In the absence of Rupa and Sanatan, the Dham appears to be like the gaping mouth of a ferocious tigress which is ready to devour me. And if you say that I should hold on to my life by reading prayers to Krishna, I say, what necessity do I have for Krishna if I don't receive your mercy? Therefore, please be merciful to me at once. This Vilap Kusmanjali was his final prayer, and after completing it, he offered it to the lotus feet of Radhika. Generally, poets reveal their last desires in their final compositions, and he desired nothing other than Radha Dasya. I think we should end here. There's still 9 pages left of this chapter, but I think we should end here because it's only 15 more minutes to read. And so we'll read about Śrī Kāśīśvara. But if you want to continue reading this, it's just a little bit left, then you can find the PDF or get the ebook for Śrī Prabandhavali, or now it's called A Treasury of Holy Days. Okay, so now we are moving to an Haribol Ganga Mataji and Anadi Krishna Prabhu and Nri Haribu Bhavatarani Mataji Haribol. Okay, so Śrī Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita. We're reading from Śrīla Bhakti Bhagavad Goswami Mahārāja's book, Śrī Chaitanya and His Associates. Okay. Pura Vrindavane Cheto Stito Bhringara Bhangur Guru Śrī Kāśīśvara Govindo To Jato Prabhu Sevako. Śrīla Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita, also Brahmachari or Goswami, was Krishna's servant Bhringar, or the Saki Shashi Reka. Is Krishna's servant Bhringar or the Saki Shashi Reka? That's Gaur Ganesh Dipika 137. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita's home was in the village of Chhatra in the district of Hooghly, about 1 mile from the present-day Serampur railway station. His father was Vasudev Bhattacharya, a Brahmin of the Vatsya Gotra in the line of Kanjilala Kanu. He also had the title Chaudhary, and hence the place where he established the temple has come to be known as Chaudhary Pada. There he installed the deities of Gauranga and Śrī Radha Govinda, whose annual festival is held on Dol Purnima. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita was especially known for his physical strength. Śrī Rudra Paṇḍita of Ballabhpur was his nephew. A disciple of Ishwar Purī. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita was a disciple of Ishwar Purī who had received much mercy from him. For this reason, he is counted as one of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's branches. Śrī Govinda was also Ishwar Puri's disciple. Both of them devotedly served their spiritual master as long as he was present in this world. Just before he disappeared, he instructed them both to go to engage in Mahaprabhu's service. Govinda was the first to come to Puri to serve the Lord after the disappearance of their guru. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita traveled throughout India on a pilgrimage before finally coming to Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. And now this is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10. I am a servant of Ishwar Puripad. My name is Govinda. On his order, I have come to you. At the time of his departure, my master ordered me, go to Śrī Krishna Chaitanya and serve him. Kāśīśvara will also come after he has seen the pilgrimage sites. I have come directly to you. And now this is also from the same chapter, chapter 10 of the Madhya Lila. On another day, Kāśīśvara Gosai arrived. The Lord greeted him respectfully and gave him a place to stay with him. Mahaprabhu felt something of a quandary about accepting the service of his guru's servants. He consulted with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, saying, the servant of my spiritual master is my superior, so how can I accept his service? On the other hand, if I do not obey my guru's order, that too will be an offense. What should I do? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya answered that the spiritual master's order should take priority. And so the Lord followed his guru's directives and accepted Govinda and Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita as his personal servants. Sa shushruvan matari bhargavena pitur niyogat prahritam tvishadvat pratyagrahid agraja shashanam tad agya gurunam hyavacharaniya. This is commonly quoted, the Guru Agya Hyavacharaniya. That means, on the order of his father, Parshuram killed his own mother, Renuka, as though she were an enemy. When he heard this, Lakshman accepted the order of his elder brother, Ram, for the orders of a guru are not to be debated. The orders of a guru are not to be debated. And this is from the Ramayana, Nirvicharam Guraragyamaya Karya Mahatmana Shreyo Hyevam Bhavatyash Chamama Chaiva Visheshata. This is from the Ayodhya Khanda 22:9. I must follow the order of my Guru because he is a great soul. You will certainly benefit from this, but even more, so will I. Kāśīśvara's service to Mahaprabhu. Whenever Mahaprabhu went to see Lord Jagannath, Kāśīśvara would use his physical strength to hold back the crowds, allowing the Lord to pass without being touched by anyone. And now this is a quote from where? From Chaitanya Charitamrita, same chapter, chapter 10 this is Adi Lila, chapter 10. Ishwar Puri's disciples were Kāśīśvara Brahmachari and Govinda. Being ordered by Ishwar Puri at the time of his departure from this world, they both arrived in Nilachal and met Mahaprabhu. The Lord considered them both to be his superiors because they had personally served his spiritual master. But he nevertheless accepted their service because it was his Guru's order. Govinda would engage in personal bodily service, while Kāśīśvara would go before him when he went to see Lord Jagannath. He would push people aside to make a path for the Lord so that he could go through the crowd without being touched. Now this is from Madhya Lila, chapter 12. It says, Mahaprabhu joyfully took the devotees to the temple to see Lord Jagannath. Kāśīśvara led the way, clearing the path, while Govinda followed, carrying the Lord's water pot. In Puri, when the Lord was dancing in front of Lord Jagannath's cart, 3 rings of people would be formed around the Lord in order to hold the people back. The innermost ring consisted of Nityananda Prabhu and other devotees, the second of Kāśīśvara, Mukunda, and others, and the third of King Prataparudra and his subjects. This is Madhya Lila, chapter 13 again. Kāśīśvara, Mukunda, and many other devotees held hands to form a second protective circle. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita was one of the 7 persons who would serve Mahaprasad to Mahaprabhu and other devotees after the Kirtan at the Rath Yatra. The others who served Prasad were Swarup Damodar, Jagadananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Gopinath, Vaninath, and Shankar. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita also participated in some of the Lord's pastimes in Navadvip, such as the Kirtans at Srivas Angan and bathing in the Ganga. He was also present when the Lord went with Kirtan to the house of Sridhar Pandit and drank from his iron pot. He, along with the other devotees present, cried to see the Lord's mercy on that occasion. Govinda, Govindananda, Śrī Kāśīśvara, Śrīmad, Jagadananda Pandit, and Ram were others present on that occasion. You can read about that in Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda, chapter 23. Vrindavan Das tells just how dear Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita was to the Lord, calling Mahaprabhu Kāśīśvara's heart on one occasion. So that's in Chaitanya Bhagavat, 1st chapter of Madhya Khanda. And he also calls him the wealth of Kāśīśvara's life, Kāśīśvara Pranadhana, on another. That's Madhya Khanda, chapter 24. Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita was also present when Mahaprabhu went to greet Advaita Acharya and the other devotees on their arrival from Bengal. His disappearance day is on the 14th day of the waxing moon, Shukla Chaturdashi, in the month of Kartik. According to another opinion, it is on the full moon day of the month of Ashwin, when Radha and Krishna Ras Purnima is also celebrated. Okay. Now, Bhūgarbha Gosvāmī. Here, Śrī Lokanath Gosvāmī and Bhūgarbha Gosvāmī. They were very close friends. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm just going to read. Śrī Lokanath Gosvāmī and Bhūgarbha Gosvāmī. Lokanatha Gosvāmī, Shri Lila Manjari Pura. Lokanath Gosvāmī was known as Lila Manjari in Krishna Lila. That's Gorgonadashtipika 187. Lokanath Gosvāmī is considered to be Mahaprabhu's direct disciple and associate. Prior to coming to Navadvip, he lived in the village of Talkori in the Jessore district of present-day Bangladesh. Prior to that, he resided in Kanchanapada. His father's name was Padmanabha Chakravarti, and his mother was Sita Devi. This is confirmed by the Bhakti Ratnakar. Śrīmad Radha Vinodaika Seva Sampad Samanvitam Padmanabha Atmajang Shri Malokanata Prabhum Bhaje. So Bhakti Ratnakar, the first Vilas, or Taranga, forgot, I think it's Taranga, I can't remember. It says, I worship Lokanath Prabhu, the son of Padmanabha, whose life revolved around the wealth of service of his deity Radha Vinod. The descendants of Lokanath Goswami's brother Pragalpa Bhattacharya are still living in Talkuri. Bhūgarbha Gosvāmī was Lokanath Goswami's closest friend and constant companion. He was Prem Manjari in Vraj. The Gorgonath Dipika 187 says, Bhūgarbha Thakurasyasit Purvakya Prema Manjari. According to the Sadhan Dipika, Bhūgarbha Goswami was Lokanath Goswami's paternal uncle. Interesting. The Shaka Nirnayamrita adds the following comments on Bhūgarbha Goswami. Goswaminam cha Bhūgarbham Bhūgarbhotham Suvishrutam Sada Mahāśrayam Vande Krishna Prema Pradam Prabhum Srila Govinda Devasya Seva Sukha Vilasinam Dayalum Premadam Swacham Nityam Ananda Vigraham. I offer my reverence to the illustrious Bhūgarbha Prabhu, who is said to be born from the bowels of the earth. He bestows love of Krishna. He takes pleasure in the service of Govinda Dev, is compassionate, simple, and always joyful. Bhūgarbha Goswami's initiating guru was Gadadhar Pandit Goswami. He is therefore considered to be Gadadhar's branch of the Chaitanya tree. Śrī Bhagavad Das, a fellow disciple of Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami, was his close friend. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 12. Sorry, I meant to say Adi Lila, chapter 12. It says, Bhūgarbha Goswami and Bhagavad Das are branches of Gadadhar Pandit. Both of them went to live in Vrindavan. Lokanath Goswami and Bhūgarbha Goswami go to Vraj. Lokanath Goswami renounced the householder ashram in 1510, that's 1431 of the Shaka era, and came to meet Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. Mahaprabhu immediately told him to go to live in Vrindavan, telling him that it was his own intention to take sannyas very shortly and go there himself. Lokanath Goswami started to cry when he imagined the Lord with his beautiful curly hair shorn, and the distress the devotees would feel at his sannyas. When the Lord saw Lokanath Goswami's anxiety, he embraced him and consoled him with his mystical words, and Lokanath Goswami surrendered completely to him. When Bhūgarbha Goswami saw how unhappy Lokanath Goswami was, he decided to accompany him to Vrindavan. The two companions walked through Raj Mahal, Tajpur, Purnia, Ayodhya, Lucknow, and many holy places before finally arriving in Vraj. Though he had come to Vrindavan on Mahaprabhu's order, Lokanath Goswami constantly felt intense separation from the Lord and shed copious tears in his desire to see him again. When he received the news that Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas and gone to Purī and from there to the south on pilgrimage, Lokanath Goswami hurried to southern India in order to join him. When he arrived in the south, he heard that Mahaprabhu was no longer there, but had gone to Vrindavan. Lokanath Goswami immediately set off for Vrindavan, hoping to see the Lord there. But by the time he arrived, he had heard that the Lord had gone to Prayag. Disappointed, but still determined to see the Lord, Lokanath Goswami decided to set off again for Prayag. This time, however, Mahaprabhu appeared to Lokanath Goswami and, in a dream, told him to stop moving about and remain in Vrindavan to perform his bhajan. Not long afterwards, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and other of the Lord's associates started coming to live in Vraj. Their association brought Lokanath Goswami immense joy. When Rupa Goswami was getting old, he found it difficult to walk all the way to Govardhan to take darshan of Gopal. Seeing his intense desire, Gopal came to stay at the house of Vittaleshwar in Mathura, ostensibly out of fear of Muslim iconoclasts. To show his mercy to Rupa, he stayed there for a month, during which time Rupa Goswami came for his darshan with Lokanath Goswami and other Gaudiya Vaishnavas. The extent to which Bhūgarbha Goswami was dear to Lokanath Goswami is described in Bhakti Ratnakara. Lokanath Goswami's affection for Bhūgarbha Goswami was well known everywhere. They only had different bodies. In spirit, they were one. It's Bhakti Ratnakara 1.317. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was extremely compassionate. Bhūgarbha Goswami and Lokanath Goswami are a goldmine of virtues. Bhakti Ratnakara 6.510. Lokanath Goswami worshipped Radha and Krishna in deep separation and with extreme renunciation. He was afraid of the slightest amount of fame. Thus, he forbade Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write anything about him in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the result that nothing was written about him there other than his name. Sanatana Goswami also mentioned his name in the Mangala Charan to the Hari Bhakti Vilas, as well as in the Vaishnav Toshini commentary to the 10th canto of the Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Vrindavanam Priyam Bande Shri Govinda Padashritam Śrīmad Kāśīśvaram Loka Natam Shri Krishna Dasakam. I pay obeisance to Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita, Lokanath Goswami, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who have taken shelter of Lord Govinda's lotus feet, and to whom residence in Vrindavan is very dear. Okay, so then the rest of this is all just about Lokanath Goswami. Yeah, so we'll stop here. Already time's finished anyways. Just seeing if there's any last thing about Bhūgarbha Goswami. No. But yeah, just went yesterday to Kadirvan, to Lokanath Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. Okay. All right, so that's our program for today. And I guess I'll just do Mahamantra, Jayadvani, and then if anybody wants to stay a little bit longer, then we'll have our final singing of the Damodara Ashtakam. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur, Hari Bol. Oh, and Champak Mataji, the reason why the class seems to be an hour later is because of daylight savings time ended. Rukmini Didi let me know. And so, yeah, now the program is an hour later for all of you in the US. All right. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Damodar Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Saparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Jai Shri Śrī Kārtika-vrata niyam seva ki jai, Kārtika-vrata samapta divas ki jai, Jai Śrī Jai Śrī, sorry, my mind went blank for a second. Jai Śrī Bhūgarbha Gosvāmī Pād ki jai, Tvadiya Shubha Tirubhav ki jai, Jai Śrī Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita ki jai, Tvadiya Shubha Tirubhav ki jai, Jai Śrī Yashoda Damodar ki jai, Śrī Radha Damodar ki jai, Śrī Urja ki jai, Urjeshwari Raseshwari Śrī Vrishabhananandini Śrīmati Radha Thakurani ki jai, Jai Śrī Hemanta ki, Śrī Radha Govinda's Hemanta ki Rasyatra ki jai, Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Śrī Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Satyavatai Namo Namo Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Dandavat pranams, everybody, dear devotees who's there. Hari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Nitai Mukeshji, Champak Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, Amit Tandikar, Mahi Bharat Prabhu, Ganga Mataji, and everybody else, Indira Mataji, and all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Rose, Ananda Pradayani, Vrinda Devi, and everybody else. Hari Bol. Srila Bhakti Bhagavad-Gita Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. So always, yeah, that book is so invaluable. Sri Chaitanya and his associates. All right. So,
Prabhuji, can I?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes. The god-brother found the letters, the correspondence that Rupa Goswami Pad had with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They're in the Vrindavan Research Institute. And it's really amazing. I try to make the story short. So when Govindaji was found, he was worshipped very much with, they call it, natural worship, because all the jewelry, everything was done with tulsi wood and all the leaves and beautiful, and then, the vines and flowers and all. So 2 years went on like this, where Rupa Goswami was worshiping Devi. But he realized that he wasn't really not paying attention, but doing what he was sent to do, continue to discover the places right. So he wrote to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he needed help, that was the situation. So guess who was sent to be the first pujari? Kāśīśvara.
Really?
Yes. Huh. And he introduced the worship in the South Indian style. But when he first, Lord Chaitanya sent him, told him to go, he fainted. Imagine, he came there to serve him, and now he had to leave for life because the service was, far away in Vrindavan. So Lord Chaitanya said, okay, just wait here a second. He went to Jagannath's temple and brought with him a deity. He said, I'll give you a deity of myself. It's called Gaur Govindaji. And today, in Rajasthan, in Jaipur, at the feet of Govindaji, you find a small deity, and that's Gaur Govinda. That's the deity that Kāśīśvara was given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Wow. Fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah. And they have the direct letters that explain all this between Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami.
Yes, they have the correspondence.
Wow. That is fascinating.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's the first time I've ever heard that. That's very amazing.
Sure,
so then Kāśīśvara Paṇḍita did, though, eventually go, and he brought that Vigraha of Mahaprabhu.
Yes. He left Purī, and for life, he didn't see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again.
Wow.
It's hard.
Amazing.
Yeah, imagine the separation he felt, and he fainted. He just didn't, he could what? And then, you want me to leave?
Wow.
Sometimes I get.
So he gave him a duty of himself.
Wow. I really want to see that Didi now. You said it's in Govinda Dev Temple in Jaipur.
In Jaipur. Yes, at the field. If you look at their photos, and if you look at when you look at the deity of Govindaji, it will be to our left at his feet, or to the right of Govindaji at his feet. It's not a big deal. It's a small deal. And there are pictures, and since I heard this, I keep looking at pictures, and I found the deity. I looked at it. So now we got to do a trip to next time we go to Jaipur.
Yeah. I'm just looking it up right now.
See if you find a picture.
Yeah. Okay, I see some small. Yeah, I guess it's. Sorry, I should share my screen. 1 second.
The pictures weren't very clear, the ones that I got.
Yeah, let's see. Just opening this. What is a good quality photo that has everybody? Let's see. Yeah, that looks good quality. Let's see. Open in new tab. Yeah, let's see.
And Sri Narayan Gurudev.
So that I'm guessing this is this what was his name again? Gaur what?
Gaur Govinda.
Gaur Govinda. So I wonder if that's Gaur Govinda right there.
Yeah, me too. This is the photo that I got too.
Huh.
I think that's him. Yeah, it's gotta be him.
Okay.
And actually, Sri Narayan Maharaj mentions this pastime, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Kāśīśvara the deity of himself.
Okay. Wow, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's
sure,
amazing.
you're welcome. Yeah, just devotees been mentioning Kāśīśvara, but
He has a
haven't
better
mentioned
picture.
the story. Yeah, Gurudev mentions that.
Okay, so that's Gaur Govinda right there.
That's Gaur Govinda Ji ki jai.
Jai.
That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is mind blowing.
Jai. All right, thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
All right, so thank you so much. That was very, very, very fascinating. So now we will sing the Damodarashtakam, and then we will end our program for today. Okay, so just find it. Lesson. Namami Shwaram Sachirananda Rupam La Satkunda Lam Gokule Brajama Yashoda Biyo Lokat Ladhavamana Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopam Namami Shwaram Sachirananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamana Harodantamuhurnetra Yugmamrijantam Karambhoja Yugmena Satankanetra Muhushvasa Kampa Trirekhankakanta Sthitagraiva Damodaram Bhakti Bhātam Iti Drik Swalilabhir Hayananda Kunde Swaghosham Nimajjantam Agyapayantam Tadiyeshitargeshu Bhaktarjitatvam Puna prematastam Shatavritti vande Varam deva moksham Namokshavadingva Anachanyam Brineham Varisharapiha Idam Teva Purnata Gopala Bala Sada me manasya rastam ke manya Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Lasakundalam Gopule Brajama idang te mukham bhujam avyaktanilai vritam kuntalai snigdha raktaishta gopya muhushumbitam bimba Raktadharane Manasya Virastam Alam Lakshalabha Anama Devadamo Dharananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalakti Magna Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinam Patano Grihane Shama Agyam Edakshidrishya Namamisharam Sachiranandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuveratmajo Baddha Amurtaiva Yadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cham Tatha prema bhaktin swakame prayacha Anamokshe graho mesti damodare Namaste Sudhamne Sfuradipti Dhamne Tvadiyotarayata Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya O Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya O Namo Nantali Lai Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Lilai Devaya Tubhyam Namo Nanta Lilai Devaya Tubhyam Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Damodara, Radha Damodara. Jai Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radhe. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Radha Damodar Ju Ki Jai. Jai Śrī Kāśīśvara Niyam Seva Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Right. Hare Krishna everybody. Dandavat Pranam. See you all tomorrow. Don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Let's see. The calendar, well, is tomorrow the first day of Kathā? I think so, right? It always is, isn't it? Yeah, so tomorrow, maybe we'll read about Kathā. I know there's a beautiful description in Ananda Vrindavan Champu, and I think Gopal Champu, Śrīmad Bhagavatam. I don't know. We'll figure out. We'll see tomorrow. But yeah. Right. Hari Bol. Dandavat Pranam, everybody.